This is the Dakota apartment building. It's one of the classic buildings in New York. So many famous people live in here. This was also the building that John Lennon and Yoko Ono lived in for many, many years. It's always great when you hear the different stories about the Dakota, and it's very, very exclusive. Even if people have money, a lot of times they still do not allow them to buy an apartment. But many, many people want to live here. So the who's who of the United States and the world also live here. And here we'll just take a closer view of the Dakota, just to see what the architecture looks like. When you see it in person, it's really magnificent to see how everything is done here. Now, where else do you see doormen who are right outside the gate? And yet, a closer look. Here we have another view of the Dakota. We're actually right next to Central Park. You can see how big the building is and the architecture. And that's one of the reasons why people really want to live in the Dakota. Just a beautiful building to be in. Magnificent architecture. Everything is just fantastic about the building. And as I said, the who's who of society in the U.S. lives in the Dakota. A little closer view for everyone. Now look at that top part of the Dakota. Just magnificent. You would never see architecture like that today. That's why people pay the top dollar to live in that building. And I'm sure the maintenance that people have to pay every month is really, really high. But as I said, like the top people from the US live in that building. So for those individuals, money is really not an object. They just like living there, and I would bet you, for a lot of those people in that building, that's their second or their third home. Now here, an even closer view of this beautiful architecture. On this beautiful Sunday in May. Just looking at the top part is just like amazing. If you have an apartment in that top part, I'm sure you're a very, very happy person. I'm sure there's competition to get those really coveted apartments. This is looking north from the Dakota. can see the beautiful street, and it's right next to Central Park. And even on 72nd Street, one of the main streets going across town, you have a lot of space too. So that all adds to the high value of a building like the Dakota. You can see here even, this beautiful street, wide, very unusual to see something like that. But again, that's why people really like to be in those buildings where you have the great views, you have the streets, and then in the distance you can see all the way down the street, that goes right to the Hudson River. And that's a closer view of the street as it goes all the way down to the Hudson River, but so scenic. Now, this is also a street that allows you to go directly through Central Park. So the street continues, and it's really like a great street to be on. Thus, why so many people want to be on 72nd and Central Park West. And you can see all the buildings in the distance. Just amazing. And then here, we can see Central Park as we turn around. Just a great place to be, especially on this Sunday where it's over 70 degrees. Just amazing.